Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Earthen's Den. And this episode is going to be really based on truth, you guys. And I know I talked to you guys about the importance of being authentic. And, you hear the slogans, it's your superpower. It's, the one thing that makes you, it makes you unique. But for the first time in my life, I had an opportunity that was so real to me. And it was so tailored to me. And I prayed a lot before this opportunity, and it was funny because it was one of those things that came up so suddenly, right? It was unexpected. I hadn't really planned for it. I did a little research, but nothing thorough enough to really feel worthy of this opportunity, right? And the whole time I'm just sitting here and I'm like, man, this is an opportunity that is so tailored to me and what it is that I want to do. And I just, wanted to just have my foot in the door, and I just wanted to do something that meant something to me. Even if it meant taking a pay cut, right? I had an interview previously with a hospital and I sat in front of this white woman and I said to myself, man, I am so sick and tired of having to seek this validation from white people and from other people in the world, right? And the reason why, for so long I was hard on myself because, you guys know, me being a speaker, so you can say speaker or writer, I said, man, I'm a journalist. And this was something that I decided to call myself and really identify with just a couple days ago. And I just was saying to myself, and I said, I'm a journalist. And then, I said, man, so many people are going to say, you're not a journalist. You don't have a journalism degree. You don't have. And I said, man, I really want to go back to school. Right. So I looked up some transcripts and I tried to see if I could make some things happen. Right. And every time I tried to go back to school, it just seemed like it was just always something. And this is a very important point in this story, you guys, and just follow me here. Just listen to me. Just relax. Just wind down. It's 7:00. And I never was able to do it. It was always just something, right? And honestly, no. In the beginning, it was like I just was kind of busy. I didn't really know if I wanted to go back to school, what I wanted to study, but knowing that I wanted to be a journalist, right? And it's funny because every time I dropped out of school, I was switching majors and, all these things, you guys, essentially taking all these turning points, just stay with me. It was because I knew the end goal. And I've always been a person to really see the end goal of my decisions. So that is why when I make certain decisions, it's a difference between risk, right? But when I made certain decisions, I would just say, well, you know what? It's one of those things, man, where I'm going to just roll with these consequences because this is what I want to do. This is what I'm standing in, and I'm going to be accountable for my actions. And so I knew that me going to college, because I had put so much work in, I was going to be looking for a job, right? And I knew that for me, that was not what I wanted to do. I was not willing to work in a field or to, in regards to journalism, I wasn't willing to work in a field and tell false news. Right. I wasn't willing to sell false stories for a paycheck or a salary or, you know what I mean? I was not willing to do that. And so that's the main reason why I didn't go back to school to study journalism. And this opportunity that I just had, it was an interview, and it filled my heart with so much joy, and it's one of those things I'm waiting to hear back. But man, when I tell you, it's a little rays of sunshine that really ensure you that you're doing the right thing. And so when I was in the hospital and I sat in front of this woman, and I could tell she had no interest in me. Right now my hair is it's called locks. It's called goddess locks, and they're very long. They're down to my thigh or whatever. And I know most people would say, "Oh, that's ghetto." No, that's culture. You know what I mean? That's culture. And so it's one of those things where I was like, man, I know that they're looking at me like she's got these big old twists in her head, and and it was just one of those things where I was just so fed up. And I think we can honestly sit here and say, oh, no, they probably weren't judging you. That was your own projection. But, I think when we have an intuition and we have a gut, we got to trust it. And I think you know what you know. And so that was the point where I was just so fed up. They sat and asked me 18 questions that were situational, tailored. And then I had another peer interview when they didn't ask me the same 18 questions. And I just said to myself, looking at this workplace, nobody was joyous. I asked the pharmacist, I said, what is it that you love about being a pharmacist? She could not give me a genuine answer. And the thing I love about truth, you guys, is that people always know when you're telling the truth. People can tell when you're being genuine and when you're not, and when you're showing up and when you're really not. You know what I mean? And so, man, just having that opportunity and having that recognition, man, because it was something I started back in 2017, and I never really knew what it was that I wanted to do. But here lately, I've really been observing myself, and I say, man, I love conversation. I love conversing. I love just taking the time to just sit and talk about things that matter and bringing truth to light, you know what I mean? And liberating people in their truths and in those spaces, and, providing people with that solace. Because I think when you don't know the truth, or when you're in denial of the truth, it's that right there that gives you so much anxiety. You don't move with faith. You don't move with a sense of peace in your decision making, because you're betraying yourself. You know what I mean? And so just being in this space, man, recognizing the things that I'm really passionate about, the things that I love, and just kind of getting just a hint of like understanding, you know what I mean? Or just recognition from God and from the universe is so amazing, and it's so powerful. And I'm so thankful, because I said, man, this is the part in my life where I'm ready to just do what it is that I love. And I don't really care how much I make. I told my partner, I said, hey, man, if I could just make $1,000 a month, I really wouldn't even trip. Like, just $1,500 a month, I will scrap that. You know what I mean? And the reason was because I just got so sick and tired of not doing what it was that I love. And, it's that right there that makes the difference. And for me, it wasn't really about materialism. It wasn't about wealth and status. It was just about being fulfilled and doing what it was that made me happy, and standing in something that was bigger than me, in a sense of like your gift, because it's not something that you cultivated, you know what I mean? But ever since I've had this dream, or this vision rather, to speak, I got voted most talkative in high school, and I was like totally against it, because I'm like, I didn't talk to half of y'all, you know what I mean? But it's so true. And I just think that we always see the signs of the universe. Like, I feel like God is always guiding us, you know what I mean? And it's up for us to go after it and to take the opportunity. And, I told them, I said, this is so much more than just a position. This right here is like such a gateway to what it is that I'm after and what it is that I want to do in my life. And so I'm just really thankful for this opportunity. And I just wanted to go in here and share with anybody who's out there doing their truth. Sometimes opportunities come your way and you don't feel worthy. I sat with myself. I said, how the heck am I going to be, in this position with this corporation, with this upcoming this upcoming empire, and I don't even have a college degree. I've stepped foot in the university and I shortly stepped right out. You know what I mean? I have no credentials. I didn't feel credible. You know what I mean? I said, man, just podcasting, is that really enough to really be in the door? Yeah, I read books, but what am I worth? You know what I mean? And I think so often that's what we tell ourselves, so we don't go off after the opportunities that are so for us, and that you can be the best in it and you can do it to the best of your ability. And so, for me, it was just truly a ray of sunshine. And I didn't really share with a lot of people because I didn't really care to, because you got to understand, when it comes to your dream and your vision, everybody's not really sure what it is, right? It's like it's a tiny little plant, right? It's growing. You planted those seeds, and a lot of people don't really see the ray of sunshine or the magnificent, and just like having this interview, or just doing the little things, and a lot of people aren't going to understand it, and a lot of people, it's not that they're not happy for you, they just don't get it. It's like, okay, so what? You got that big break, or you got that promotion, or you got that opportunity to go do that. How much is it? How much are they paying you? What? You know what I mean? So you just got to understand that some things are just tailored to you, and it's okay. It's okay to be misunderstood, and it's okay, at the end of the day, but just move forward with your dreams and your goals. Cause, I'm telling you, just not giving up and just kind of being in that space of just telling yourself the truth and being real about it. And honestly, I think you got to make some sacrifices. I'm telling you, I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to keep coming to these jobs and I'm sitting here and I'm lying in front of these people's face. I'm pretentious. This no longer feels good to me. Like, I've had enough. I've been working ever since I was 16, and I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, man, I want to do something that means something to me. You know what I mean? Regardless of what that looks like to anybody. And so for me, it was so much bigger than that. And I'm just very blessed. And I just wanted to get on here and just share that with anybody. Because, man, I'm telling you, sometimes you just don't know, but you know a little bit. And right. And then I told myself, regardless of what the outcome was for this position, I knew that it was for me. It was going to be for me. And I also was so thankful to just have been recognized, my application to have been pulled out of the many people who were, I'm sure, 110% qualified, and to me, that just means so much, you know what I mean? To just have that recognition and to been selected to just been spoken to. You know what I mean? I'm sitting in front of somebody who's built an entire foundation, in a little over 6 years. Of course, I want to be a part of that. And I told you guys this in a previous episode, man, get behind somebody who can teach you. I think everybody wants to be the COO. Everybody wants to be this big, you know what I mean? But sometimes you're not ready for that. Sometimes it's okay to take a pay cut. Sometimes it's okay to sit back and, work part-time. Or sometimes it's okay to step into a space where you can be taught. You're not ready to be on the front lines yet. You know what I mean? And I think for me, that was the place in which I was very blessed to have been humbled enough to understand that, sometimes you're not ready to take your business all the way there. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're going to have to work for, your friend who has the clothing business or, you know what I mean? And just kind of learn and help their business come better. Because what happens is as you help them become better, those opportunities can then become your opportunities, right? It's a give situation. And I just think, being a part of something where somebody has that understanding and their business is built on that is everything. We just live in such a selfish culture, and you can't really get ahead that way. And so I think for me, it's being in that space, and I'm just very thankful for everything, honestly, in my life. I've just been very patient. I've been very still, man. Not working, constantly being back and forth between jobs, just being an artist. I think, honestly, I'm not going to lie, I think me telling myself I was an artist, I've kind of felt like maybe I was living that life too early, quitting jobs here and there, left and right. Felt like, struggling artist, that was just the motto. And so maybe I created that reality. I don't know. But, it's a lot of uncertainty. You know what I mean? It's a lot of uncertainty with anything you're starting out doing in the beginning. And, it's important for me to just share little things like this in my journey, to just kind of be that light for anybody else who may be in that space. Because the other day I said, man, I don't really know if I want to do podcasts anymore. I'm not really sure what to talk about. I feel like everything is just kind of like slow. I don't feel like it's growing. I don't feel like it's doing this. I don't feel like it's doing that. You know what I mean? It's so easy for us to focus on the negative. I see so many people get so many amazing accolades, and the first thing they do is they talk about the people who are talking smack about them. You know what I mean? And we're just trained to be that way. And so I think it's okay to just step back. And so these last couple of days, you guys, I've been so still. I haven't made a podcast just because I just didn't really feel inspired to make a podcast. You know what I mean? And for me, doing what it is that I love, I was very reluctant, and I've always been very reluctant to monetize off of it. And I guess I'm not really sure why, you guys. I really got to get to the root of that. The reason why I was always kind of reluctant to make money off of my gifts. I don't know. I guess maybe I just didn't want to feel like a sellout. I didn't really want to be in the same category with a lot of people, just selling another course or just, talking another talk just to kind of get people to listen and just to, you know what I mean? It just was like, I just wanted to just remain true. And, I also think maybe I wasn't ready to do that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's definitely something I got to get to the root of the bottom, because it's like to the bottom of, I said to the root of the bottom. But, seriously, I really do have to get to the bottom of that. But that's just some things that I'm going through, some things that I'm overcoming. I really hope everybody is having a really great week. My homegirl and I were on the phone the other day because I was telling her, like, man, I don't really know. I told you guys I was doubting the whole podcasting thing. And, she talked to me and she said, you should write down things that make you happy. Write down some things that make you happy. So whenever you're in a space and you're doubtful, you can really tap into that and really just kind of go after it in such a way. You know what I mean? Like, pick yourself up. And that was really dope. So I just hope everybody's taking care of their mental. And it's nothing wrong with just kind of, I ain't going to say taking a break. Don't give up on yourself. I'm learning that, I'm learning that. Don't give up on yourself. Like I said, even if this wasn't the opportunity for me, I was still just blessed, and lets me know I'm on the right path, right? So don't give up on yourself, but definitely take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Take care of yourself. It's been times like, I just sleep in. You know what I mean? I'll just sleep in, wake up, have me a good little afternoon, you know what I mean? Still cook breakfast like it's nothing, you know what I mean? Because I needed that rest. My mind, my brain, my body, I'm in overdrive, you know what I mean? And so just take care of you first, you know what I mean? No matter what, because you'll be no good to others if you don't take care of yourself. And you can't live to see the next day if you don't take care of yourself today. So, that's just kind of what I wanted to get on here and share. I hope this story wasn't all over the place, you guys. There were no notes. It just kind of went off the dome. I just kind of wanted to have a conversation with you guys because it's real. And I appreciate everybody who supports me, who supports this podcast, the people who are rooting for me, the people who listen to me in the morning, because you guys, I'm telling you, sometimes I just don't really feel worthy. You know what I mean? I have to tell myself, and even still, man, I honestly think it's that right there that truthfully humbles me. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes we tie worthiness to like self-love or like self-respect. You know what I mean? But I can't really say it's always that. I think, for me, it's just humbling myself. It's just a humbling little thing, that I do sometimes. And, whatever works for you. For me, it's kind of being in that space and just like being a student, regardless of what I think I know or what I do know. You know what I mean? It's just sitting in that space. I'm like, oh, man, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. And I think it's that right there that just, I don't know, it just makes me a better person. So, okay, you guys. And I hope everybody has a great day or had a great day. Today's Wednesday. It's hump day. It was a fabulous day in the tri-state area. It was 72 degrees today. It was really nice. It's 7 o'clock and the sun is getting ready to go down. It's so crazy being in a new season, and the ladybug just sat on my window. So, hey, I'm feeling very lucky. And I hope you are too, because if you're listening to this, you're alive and you got another opportunity. Prayer is real. Just pray. I definitely believe in praying. I definitely believe in execution. Don't feel like you got to work yourself to a burnout. Just know that your journey, your work, what it is that you need to sacrifice is completely different from what anybody else is going to sacrifice in their life. Everybody's kind of telling a story, but just be discerning to know which story is truthful and what really matters to you. And if it doesn't agree with your spirit, don't roll with it. That's just some tips I just kind of had to let roll off because it was on my mind. But okay, you guys, I'm going to let you guys go. And I hope everybody has an amazing week.